We need a conference to focus on technical aspects because fonts are technical, and we're often asked as type designers, well, you design typefaces? Don't we have them all? People think that this is something that just exists. They use them in their applications. They pull down a menu and they've got a list of fonts. And if they really care about fonts and they don't see what they want, they'll go look and actually buy new fonts that don't come with their computer. But the way fonts are actually produced it's a complicated business because we have to prepare fonts to be rendered on multiple possible platforms, different environments, different ways of rendering them. And what I love about this conference is that it's the one place which is focused on the technology, and we have all the key participants, not just the developers of type, but the developers of the software that produces the type and the developers of the software that render the type, and the application developers and operating system developers. So having the people involved, from Microsoft and Apple and Google and Adobe, and at the same time the developers of GlyphSap and RoboFont, it's a phenomenal opportunity just to get everyone in the same space for a few days. And what happens beyond just the actual presentations, the individual meetings during coffee and so on, are so productive to be able to strengthen relationships across different companies and so on. And it's a phenomenal event to come to, and I look forward to coming to this every year as long as I'm in this business. Yeah, it has largely been variable fonts. That's for certain. There's been a little bit touched on with color fonts. There's been discussion related to hinting, but again, with the concept of hinting related to variable fonts. I think that's what we need to work on right now because there's so much potential for what variable fonts can bring to the world and to our customers. We need to refine our message to our customers as to what this technology is going to provide. And so, we're skipping out on other things, but I don't know that anything's more important than this right now. I hope that people first meet variable fonts and don't know they're variable fonts, right? I hope that, for example, we know that the web is going to be the first place where they are most easily accessed, and so I'm hoping that people encounter them in forms of automatic optical sizing and responsive adjustment of the type, responsive typography, that this happens in an automated way that people don't even notice, because that's when you know a technology is working, when you don't see it. So that's what I'm hoping people, how they first encounter variable fonts. I think the biggest challenge we have in front of us now, as has been talked about quite a bit at this conference, is how we enable control over variable fonts to the end users. And while some things we want to be invisible, like we talk about optical sizing, and I want that to be something that just happens for people, they don't have to think about it. They start setting type, they choose a point size, and you get the right point size master or interpolation between masters to render that in its optimal way. But then we have the issue of sliders, toggles, different ways of manipulating the variable space. And we need real help from smart UI designers in how to interact with this multi-dimensional space. And I keep thinking back to the movie with Tom Cruise, Minority Report, which I think was the first place we saw someone using their hands out in space to basically control a virtual environment, and you could see and you could manipulate You could manipulate images and so on right in front of you with these gloves. That's not too far-fetched anymore. That was groundbreaking when that movie came out. And now with VR and AR, with augmented reality, that's an entirely reasonable thing to consider down the road, that you may be able to navigate into the design space of a typeface in a virtual or augmented way. So I'm hoping that's an area that we see some exploration.